Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and another organization video. Today I have a really fun reveal for you. It is my organized pantry. As you can see behind me, I'm going to open the door and show you everything all beautifully organized. I recently revamped the entire space to be able to make it accommodate a lot more stuff because I have started shopping more in bulk and once a month since I organized it the first time. So I made a few updates and I wanted to do a little video tour to show you everything that I did. I hope you find it helpful and inspiring for organizing your own space. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer them, and I will link to everything that I can think of that I mentioned in the video. And I hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started with my organized pantry tour. Chester will be your tour guides today. They're gonna help me. These crazy cats love getting in the pantry. Every time I open it, they bolt in there and it is so hard to get them out. So that is part of what was very helpful with organizing in here, is I kind of made everything so it's easy to get them out and they're not like hiding behind things. Okay, so let us start with this bar cart over here. So I feel like it turned out pretty cute actually, but I am not going to lie to you guys. This DIY was kind of a disaster. And I spray painted one. So basically, yeah, what I did is I spray painted a gray round utility cart from Target. It was very inexpensive, about $35. And I had seen, you know, other people do that as a DIY for a bar cart to make it a pretty color, like shiny gold. It took so many coats of spray paint. And what I learned after the fact is that metal things spray painted just do not hold up at all. And as you can see in little places, it scratched almost immediately. So I discovered it just does not stand up well at all. So I do not actually recommend that if you do this idea. I feel like it's a great idea because bar carts can be extremely expensive. If you are shopping for one, you will find that out. But I would choose maybe a utility cart that you already like the look of, and you don't have to paint it, or maybe you can research like some sort of top coat. I did not do that, but sort of my saving grace for this was that I found these little placemats. Actually, they're round from Hobby Lobby. They're like a gold drizzle kind of rubbery material, and it ended up being the perfect solution. And I will move this and show you. So basically I had to cut maybe like ½ inch off of the circumference. You can see how that did not stand up to use whatsoever. That was just like putting things on it after one day. So this ended up being the perfect solution because it's a very grippy surface, and I feel like the look of it actually really upgraded the bar cart. My husband was telling me he agreed with that too. So I feel like this did end up being a good solution. I wanted this in here because I wanted an easy place to store a lot of our drinks that I end up refilling into the refrigerator, and I thought it would be really convenient to have a cart that I could wheel in and out and easily refill the refrigerator. So as you can see here, we have Topo Chicos. Those are a sparkling water that my husband is really in love with. We have some watermelon LaCroix over there. Those are really good. And I love how they come in a pink bottle. I think it's so pretty. And then on the top, I have our liquor and wine bottle opener. We have to get more actually of this so that we can make old fashions. But I found this little his and hers set at, I believe, Ross the other day, and I thought it was the perfect little touch for this bar cart, and kind of perfect for us personally, because I normally drink wine and my husband drinks old fashions, and this is like an old fashioned glass, and I like those as well, but that's kind of normally well, actually he doesn't usually drink old fashions, he just drinks straight whiskey, but I just think whiskey is like, it is traditionally served in a glass like that. So I felt like that was perfect and so cute. They have these little gold dots on the top, which is a cute little detail. So yeah, that is my cute little bar cart DIY. I purposely looked for something that was just small and could just nestle right there in the corner so that we had the additional drink storage. So the rest of the pantry, basically I had it all organized last year perfectly for my purposes, but then I started bulk shopping at Costco and doing monthly stock ups. So it really had to be reconfigured to work for storing much more quantities of things in here. So I'm really pleased with how it turned out, because you can't really tell this is holding so much stuff in here because it looks so contained and organized, and I love how it turned out. So I'm gonna take this out so I can show you the rest of the pantry. Okay, so this is what it looks like without the bar cart in there, and I didn't have the bar cart before. I really like how neat and empty it looks like this, but I do like the additional storage that the cart adds, and it's easy to roll in and out. So I'll start at the bottom here. This is a little wine crate that I spray painted the outside of a little aqua color a while back. I just DIY'd that, and I added these wheels on casters to the bottom of it, and I love how that turned out, and I wanted it to be able to easily slide in and out, so it fits perfectly in this little nook here in the pantry that stores all of our bottled water extras that is not in the fridge. We are soon going to go to a system where we stop buying bottled water, and that will be really nice to not have to have all the extra plastic, and we won't need to store it. So I'm excited about that soon, but right now that's where the water is. On this next shelf, I got these little can organizers off of Amazon, and I thought that was the perfect solution to store all of the bulk canned items that I get when I have like an actual full 6 or 8 package of canned goods. So right now we have tomato paste, olives, black beans, and sweetened condensed milk in there. And I do believe that these said that they were top rack dishwasher safe. However, I don't remember if they came warped like this. They're a little bit like bent in a crooked way, or I'm not sure if it's just how the cans are. Anyways, I was a little bit bummed about that, but I didn't return them because I didn't know if it was because I put them in the dishwasher or if it's just because they are like that. I think they just are, they easily bend, but that's okay. It doesn't look too bad, so I'm pretty happy with those. In the future, I might try and get some better quality ones, but those were very inexpensive. And so on our next shelf here, we have this little seagrass basket that I thought was really pretty. It's in a similar design to some that I have in my closet, and I got that from what store was that? At Home. Yes, this is from the At Home store. It has these handles over here. It just fits in the shelf. So basically what I put in this one is just bunch of extra salty snacks. We have some cookies there, but just extras of everything that we don't really have space in our other shelves where we keep our snacks. So we just have extra like cheese crackers, extra cereal, extra cookies, extra chips. All these are the unhealthy snacks, but we have some of those right now. So that is where they all go, and I just thought it was a perfect way to just contain a bunch of random things that didn't necessarily need their own spaces, you know, nothing labeled, because I want to be able to mix up what I am able to put in there. That's just a very organized way to corral a bunch of just random items. These gold baskets I also got at the at-home store. I got 2 of those. I thought they were pretty, and I wanted to tie in some more gold accents in here. I wanted some kind of like open breathing, you know, kind of more mesh basket for these type of items so they don't mold. So we have one for potatoes. As you can tell, I stocked up at Costco on a huge bag of baking potatoes so I can make baked potatoes for myself for lunch. And I have onions over here and garlic. And usually I actually do have a little bit more onions than that, but right now that is what I have. On this shelf here, I have a bunch of just miscellaneous baking and food supplies in these glass jars that I got from HomeGoods last year. They have really pretty aqua top, and they're twist on. They have a little bit of a seal, but it is not airtight, and I will go into detail on what I got for actual airtight storage in just a minute. But I put these beautiful labels on here that I got from an Etsy store called Paper and Pear. The girl who has that store just makes the cutest labels, and when I found it when I was doing this pantry project, I was so excited because I knew that was the perfect finishing touch. It just makes everything look so streamlined and organized and beautiful and Pinteresty. And they have a number. They just go in order of how many different items you get, and you can, you know, have her make custom ones, which is the option that I did. And so I had all, like, this is a random thing, obviously arrowroot powder, but that's why I needed the custom package so that I could choose all of the things, because not everything I have is a basic pantry staple. And then you get to choose what it says here as well, and I just went with all natural because I thought that looked nice, and generally everything I buy is organic, or at least non-GMO. So those are those supplies on that shelf. I think that looks so pretty. Up here I have the rest of my baking goods in these bigger, they're either gallon or 2-gallon jars. I think they're actually gallon jars. I can't quite remember, but they have twist on silver tops. I got those quite a long time ago at World Market, and I have organic flour, oat flour. I actually ground that myself just the other day. It was super easy because I had tons of oats from Costco, and it lasts for like 3 months in the pantry. Organic cane sugar and oats, my old-fashioned rolled oats, once again in bulk from Costco. So those containers, like I said, were from World Market. They are also not airtight, so I will show you later my airtight jars. Up here on the very top shelf, I moved that sign up a little bit so that I could actually still see it and store stuff under it, and I feel like that works perfectly. I have all of our extra Kleenex boxes up there, and I'm happy to have that shelf for storage now because it was just empty before and I needed to store a lot of things more than I used to. So yeah, and that patisserie sign up there is from World Market. I think it's so pretty and cute with the gold. These little accents always make me so happy too. These Kleenex boxes happen to be like an aqua green and gold, and I thought that was so perfect with the color scheme of the pantry in here. So that is all that is on this side. Over here, it's a little bit hard to capture all the way up to the ceiling. We just have 2 shelves of our extra paper towels up there. That is another thing we're trying to save money on and cut back on and make them last a little bit longer so I don't have to buy so many. So I have reusable dishcloths that I've been trying to use more frequently. Over here, I have this glass jar. I've had that for a really long time. I just keep the lid off so my cat doesn't knock that off. And I have, once again, another custom-made labels. I just had her say snack bars so that I could fill it with whatever granola bars or energy bars or whatever we have on hand at the time. I have that totally filled with those from Costco. Over here, I have a seagrass basket that I got from HomeGoods. Has a little handle. I love this whole side has seagrass baskets. All from HomeGoods. Very affordable baskets at HomeGoods. That's always my go-to place. In this container, I don't actually have to reach for it very frequently, so it works perfectly up here. I kind of have to stand on my tippy toes. This holds just all of our like extra condiments, oils, things I don't reach for that much. Honey, extra red hot, we use that all the time, so I needed extra barbecue sauce, things like that. Things that I only buy like 1 can of. I have some pinto beans in here right now. Extra salsa, stuff like that. That is in the open basket. Another open basket over here is kind of similar items, just extras of things, sauces, broths. I have vegetable broth. This is an extra green juice, tomato sauce, pasta sauce. These, you guys, are delicious. From Costco. They are dark chocolate sea salt caramels. I flirted with the idea of getting these for so long, and I was so good at not getting them. But Brittany Vasseur, a YouTuber who is amazing on YouTube, said that she got these and that she thought they were worth it, even with the sugar and stuff, because they are so filling and rich that you really only want like 1 or 2 to kind of get rid of that sweet craving, and that's pretty true. I don't binge those too bad, so I don't feel that bad having them on hand, but oh my goodness, such a good treat. Extra pizza sauce, applesauce back there, extra olives, stuff like that. Some salmon or canned tuna. And then we have a closed basket down here. This is stuff that is just extras of pasta and rice. I at first had a glass jar full of pasta, but I buy way more than it didn't really make sense because I like to have more on hand than would fit in that jar. So I just have that all filled with pasta and rice, things like that. This kind of just nestles perfectly. It's a little bit of a smaller grass basket on top of another one down here. And I just keep our extra washcloths and dish towels in there at the moment. Look at Milo. Just hanging out. Let's put this here for a second and show you what is in that one. So this one I honestly had to remember. Okay, yeah, so this is extra baking supplies as well. I have the rest of the flour that didn't fit in that jar. I have extra oats. It looks like I have a little bit of extra pasta in there too. I have organic powdered sugar in here. I do want to create a bin for this later, but I need to make a list of new labels that I need when I want to get more custom labels from Paper and Pear. So for right now, that is just hanging out in there. I don't use that very frequently in baking, just occasionally. Over here, I know this looks so ridiculous. I feel like this is a bunch of vanilla syrup for coffee, but it can get really pricey to buy syrup if you just buy them in the really small bottles. It's not really an efficient way if you drink a ton of coffee at home, which we have been doing, especially with the virus and quarantine and everything. The biggest thing that we wanted to be stocked on while we had to stay home was coffee. So we did that. We got a bunch of extra Reusable pods and I got a bunch of extra vanilla. These are awesome because they are the Torani Pure Made ones. There's no artificial preservatives or colors or flavors. The ingredients are very simple. And I really appreciate that because it turns out that artificial food coloring in certain coffee syrups is something that makes me break out. So that is a bulk item that I get. They come in 4 packs on Amazon and it is very affordable that way. Each bottle I think ends up being around like $7, and for such a big bottle that is a really good deal. So have those there. On the bottom down here, which is hard to get down here to see, I have vinegar for whatever purposes I need, and some extra bigger water bottles down here. I figured it would just be good to, I know that doesn't look as cute, but we needed kind of just a space where I could put a big package of anything extra if I needed it. And then we have this awesome spice rack over on this wall. And this was actually installed by the previous owners. I've got a question before of where I got it, and unfortunately I have no idea where they got it. It was already up here. They actually had two, but I didn't need two, so I took the other one down. And this, all the spice jars on it are actually a combination of different things. I'll tell you where each set of things were from. So these grinder salt and pepper shakers I actually got at a local Texas store, HEB, for just like $3 each, filled. I was looking for something exactly like that for the longest time. I was so excited to find them, and they did have different labels. They also have a lid that I just took off that came on them, but I wanted something clear and acrylic and super pretty, and I love those, but they did have labels, and I just took them off. It can be kind of a pain to take labels off, but then it was so worth it because then I could put on these custom labels that once again I had made. Paper and Pear. All of the labels up here are from Paper and Pear, and I created my own custom list of all the things that I needed. I'll just show you all the different spices. The jars are another of my favorite finds ever. So basically they are, okay, you can see the difference here. So they're a combination of just a couple of Simply Organic spice jars and spice jars that are very similar that I found on Amazon. So the only difference is that the Simply Organic one says the spice on the top, and that is all. I was so excited to find these jars on Amazon. I will totally link them. They're awesome. I believe this is the 4-ounce size, and I loved them because I have always loved the Simply Organic line. I just feel like the green is so pretty. I have these up here too, and I love just like the kind of iridescent tone of it. I love the tone of green, and I love the simplicity in the little like leaf that they have, and I obviously like that they're organic, but they are super pricey to stock up on just from scratch, and I already had a ton of other spices that I just wanted in uniform jars, so I just created, like I said, all my labels. Then I got these plain jars on Amazon, and then I just mix and matched with a couple of Simply Organic ones that I had, and as you can see, you can't even notice the difference. It's so cool. And now I just buy the most affordable spice, you know, that I can find, and I put it in the reusable jars. And if I ever get a new spice, I will start another list of different custom labels that I will need from Paper and Pear. Up here I have these Simply Organic extracts, peppermint, almond, and vanilla. I decided to just keep their labels on because I feel like they already look super pretty. And I have these Simply Organic mix packets up at the top. Those are really awesome, more minimal ingredients. I really like the French onion dip one, and super convenient for having on hand. So that is this spice rack over here. I love that it only takes up space on the wall. I will say though, it is pretty impractical to reach in here every time we're cooking, so our most used spices that we use for like every meal, which is about 4 things, I keep in a pantry by the stove, so that's easier. So that is the overview of the updated pantry. I hope you guys got some inspiration for maybe organizing your own space. Oh no, I totally forgot to finish going down this side of the shelves. Okay, so over here we have these 2 gallon size glass jars that I got from World Market just recently. Those are a new addition. These are an amazing find because I love the way the glass jars look, but I have never liked the glass on glass concept, and these actually have a rubber. It is not a seal, but it is just like a gasket or whatever it's called, so that it, you know, goes on and off without chipping the glass or just, you know, I worry about that. So I loved that find. Right now I have them full of instant oatmeal. I would love to create more of a collection of these, but this is what I was talking about as far as my airtight storage. I have a cereal, actually airtight jar. I have one for chocolate chips and one for brown sugar, and this is kind of like a trial and error thing, which I discovered that I had to get these actually being airtight, because if you don't have airtight chocolate chips, they start to turn kind of like that white color, and then brown sugar gets hard. So the other jars that I had those in, they just didn't keep it fresh, so I decided to just get a couple actual airtight jars. Those are from Target, so that the very few things that really kind of do need airtight storage-ness to stay fresh will actually stay fresh. This cereal container, by the way, is part of that same line, and I am not impressed with it at all. I love the concept of having a cereal pourer because it's easier, but this one doesn't work. It's just with the shape, so I might get another one. I do not recommend that one, actually. It was to match the rest of these, but I really think you need a different type of pourer for it to be efficient for cereals that are like Raisin Nut Bran, which is what we get. It doesn't come out very easily from the spout. But yeah, that is my airtight solution. They do not look as cute or Pinteresty, but I obviously need to keep certain things fresh to not waste them. And so I thought just a couple of those over there was a good solution for that. I'm not really concerned about the other things like the sugar, the oats, or the flour, because I don't feel like those are too bad when it's not exactly airtight. So that is my updated pantry tour. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully it gave you some inspiration for how to create a pretty but super functional space for what you actually need and to store lots of different things. I feel like this is a pretty small space. I'm very thankful for. Obviously it's much better than just a tiny pantry, but it is not the hugest space either, so I just had to be very intentional with very efficient storage and kind of walk the balance between making it pretty but also very functional, like I said. So I will put the bar cart back in and show you that after. Here it is with the bar cart back in the pantry. So that is everything. I feel like there is tons of stuff in here, very neatly organized, and it makes me very happy because I feel like it strikes the balance well of being organized, but pretty and efficient. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.